First of all, the idea to go to Qatar was because in the last years, FIFA and also the Qatari government, they said that they changed laws and they made a lot of promises that the situation for migrant workers improved over the last years. So that's why I came up with the idea to go there and to see for myself and to look if things really changed. Um, and I decided to go undercover because if you go officially as a journalist to Qatar, they take you to camps, for example, and you cannot move freely as a journalist. You cannot talk to workers. They present workers to you, so it's really not an independent investigation. We contacted the Nepali government, and they told us the official numbers, and I mean those numbers are absolutely shocking. In the last 10 years, 1,426 workers died in Qatar, migrant workers. Only 196 died of natural causes. So I mean, those numbers are really terrible, and those are only the migrant workers from Nepal. I mean, what about workers from India, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan? It's not known how many people of this number of the 1,426 are really related to World Cup construction sites. They are only there to work. They're not there to enjoy life or to have entertainment in some kind of way. So they live. Yeah, they live like 20 kilometers outside of the city, outside of Doha, in the so-called industrial area. It's very hard for them to take a cab or to go inside to the city. They have to work almost all week. They're off one day. Yeah, they're only there to work. So there's no acceptance, from the Qatari society there. One worker told me, that allegedly the safety measures at stadium sites, but also at other construction sites, are not good. Then there are long working hours. So they have to work sometimes 12, 13, 14 hours in the heat. And then they go back into their rooms. Some rooms have air conditioning. So yeah, all those factors weigh in why people die. So I think some cases might be because the workers did not really look out for themselves. Not really took into account that it's dangerous if they are in the heat and then they go back into their rooms. Passports are confiscated. They are confiscated so that the workers cannot leave. When there are any type of problems with the company, or if the workers are not satisfied with their company, then they could leave, but they cannot leave. And meeting them and talking to them, I found out that that there are still a lot of problems, but no one at this market really wanted to show their faces because they were all scared of their bosses, scared of something might happen to them, some kind of punishment. And then I met those two workers, Dil Prasad and Adi Gurung, and they were so their situation was so bad that they said, okay, you know, we want to show our faces, we want to tell our story, and they invited me to their camp. We went with the coffin of a dead worker, you know, back to his village, and you know, we talked to the family members, and his brother-in-law was actually, you know, the only person who was able to speak in front of our camera, you know, because all the other family members, they were so in pain and so much in grief. But you know, those people, they don't have a lot of money, so you know, they cannot afford a lawyer, so they really don't have any chances to get compensation, for example, or to try to go after the ones that are responsible. Sometimes they don't really even know what happened. You know, they just get a death certificate saying that the worker died in his sleep. So they are really left alone with their pain and with their grief, and also they have a lot of questions which aren't answered. But you know, most of the people, they're very poor. You know, they don't have enough money, so you know, that's why their family members go away in the first place, so that they have a better life, so that they can afford food or send their children to school. But they have no money whatsoever to afford a lawyer and try to get compensation. There are changes, but you know, whenever I talk to different experts, they said that the problem is the implementation, that they are not really 100% implemented, and it's very hard for migrant workers, for example, to reach the labor courts. You know, I talked, whenever I spoke to different workers, they all told me that they went to labor courts, that they went, for example, to the Nepali embassy, but they received no help. So it seems like laws changed, laws are there, but they are not really implemented. So that has to change. So you know, those laws really need to be implemented. We confronted the Qatari labor ministry, but only when I was back. But unfortunately, they never replied to our mails. So we got no answer to our questions from the labor ministry. We got an answer from FIFA. We got an answer from the Qatari organizing committee, but we never got an answer from the Ministry of Labor, and we also never got an answer from the companies that we contacted. So FIFA wrote to us that they will take those allegations very seriously, and they will work together with the organizing committee, and they will look into these cases. Like you said, you know, it's the first time that they had to acknowledge that they know about breaches of labor standards on a World Cup construction site. So I guess this is because, you know, we asked them, and you know, we also found cases of this company called Tabasol. We talked to two workers, and they really make serious allegations. You know, they talk of lack of safety measures on World Cup construction sites. One worker told us that he saw how two migrant workers died because of this lack of measures. And there are also allegations of abuse by this company, that workers got beaten, and for example, when they were sick, and they stayed in bed. Their bosses told them that they have to get out of bed, that they have to stay in the heat outside, so they were punished. So those are really, really serious allegations. The Qatari organizing committee denies what this worker told us. They told us that there were no death workers, and that they know nothing about abuses by this company Tavasol. I've been following this story for many years now. So we are working on a follow up, on a longer version right now actually.